Welcome to Real Talk with the Pros. I'm Tammy Halford, the associate broker here with Picket Fences Realty. And today, Chris, we're going to do something a little bit different. We are going to recap some of the incredible guests that we have had on the show, biggest takeaways for our homeowners, buyers, and the sellers.
So let's jump right into the highlights and the lessons that stuck with us. And hopefully it's helped you along the way.
Alec and Colin from Best Title stopped by. They walked us through what really happens after that contract gets accepted. You know, the part where the buyers think it's just all paperwork, but it's actually a whole behind-the-scenes adventure. They broke it down for us, the process for underwriting and everything it takes to get a transaction safely to the closing table.
After the escrow officer and or attorney is done with the closing, make sure everything's notarized. We notify the agent and the lender that everything's gone smoothly. If there's any other hiccups or any other issues or questions that have came up in the closing room, we might pass those along. But for the most part, that's when we just get the packet, ship it back to the lender and or wherever they'd like it to go, and get the deeds, send everything over for recording or any other document that needs recorded. And then you're looking at, I'll skip to this most important part, but everybody starts getting their paychecks.
That's right.
That's pretty much it.
So we also had Debbie Christian from Home Warranty Incorporated. She joined us and answered the age-old question, is a home warranty actually worth it?
Yeah.
She explained what's covered and what's not, how the process works, and why both buyers and sellers might want one. She made home warranties feel a little less mysterious and a little more exciting. So when somebody buys a home warranty, what are the things that it usually covers? Appliances, the plumbing, HVAC, or all of the above?
Yep. So pretty much all of those. So it's going to be the air conditioner, furnace, appliances, water heater. They'll have some plumbing coverages, plumbing stoppages, electrical. It's not going to cover like pests or structure. It's going to be things that would break due to normal wear and tear after they buy the house. So when they're looking at the house, everything's working fine, but then they get in and then all of a sudden the dishwasher stops working. So things like that is what we'll cover.
So it's definitely going to alleviate some of the headache of coming up with money.
Exactly, yes.
Jake Garner from Country Roads Moving gave us the pep talk we all needed when it's time to pack up and move our lives after we've been planning for many years and all the stuff that we have. He shared practical tips, clever tricks, and a few don't do what this person did stories, and made the whole topic way more fun. Thanks to Jake, we're a little more prepared to get moving.
So when we do like the packing service portion, often that conversation, we'll show up just like the regular day. We'll have a contract, we get a timestamp, we go through the do's and don'ts, and then a part of that process is what aren't we not packing, right? That's an important question. So like your overnight bag, your medication, there's a small grocery list like, jewelry, firearms, ammunition, personal documents, cash, all those things that we want you to take everything that you think is in that category and put it away in a corner, and we'll get everything else teed up and packed up for you. We try to just make sure all your delicate things that they're worried about are teed up and ready. Would be what I'm thinking. Yeah.
And Tyler was here, McCutcheon's HVAC and Cooling in Fairmont, joined us with some seriously helpful advice on keeping your furnace and central air running smoothly. He broke down filter changes, maintenance tips, and how to avoid those why is it 90 degrees in here emergencies. He made HVAC feel simple. Definitely need to check him out and call him.
So what's the best way to extend the life of a furnace or an AC unit while you're living in a home?
Yes, so the number one way is always going to be the filter.
Okay.
The number one problem we run across in both lifespan and like premature breakdowns is people just forgetting or not changing the filter. And we offer those services, but I've kind of always thought, like, if you can pull that filter out and change it, whether it's once a month, once every 3 months, 6 months, it's going to save you a ton of money and really prevent you from calling us out, even for maintenance or breakdowns.
Dan, founder and CEO of Solar Holler, came in and explained how solar works, why it's become more popular and affordable, and how homeowners can actually save money in the long term with that. He took a big topic, made it easy, practical, and surprisingly inspiring.
If I have solar panels versus no solar panels, what kind of savings? Just give us an idea of what that looks like.
Yeah, let's say your house is using $200 a month in electricity, which
seems to be pretty standard around the state right now. For folks who are leasing their panels, you might come in and say, Solar Holler will lease you the panels for $170 a month, give or take. And then you reduce your utility bill by $200. So you're saving that $30 a month right out of the gate. But then back to the earlier point, the 170 is locked in. So even as the utility prices go from 200 to 250 to 300, you're still at 170.
Ray Logue from Loan Depot joined us with a 3-part series that could have been a whole mini course of mortgages. He broke down FHA, USDA, and conventional loans in a way that finally made sense. Buyers, sellers, and even agents walked away feeling like mortgage pros.
Right.
So don't feel intimidated with the process. What is the first step when looking for a mortgage company?
Look to your realtor. If you've already identified a realtor, you need to look to that realtor and ask them, like, who do they work well with? And they should give you a few options, but when they do, you really need to look at those options strongly. And the reason why is your realtor is going to help you throughout the entire process. But if you end up going with a lender that they don't know, that they don't work with, or have zero relationship with, doing so is going to hinder what that realtor can actually do for you when there's a bump in the process, right? Because, if they know that person, they can call and say, hey, how can I help?
Eric, the owner of Serene Pest Control, gave us the lowdown on all those creepy, crawly bugs. I prefer not to talk about those. But he explained the signs to watch for, the risks they pose, and how to keep them out of your home. Somehow he made talking about bugs helpful and entertaining. Mice and rats are a big concern for homeowners. How do you typically get those taken and rectified in what you do?
Cracks, gaps outside on the foundation is a good way. Having a generator outside, sometimes when you have pipes going through, they have seals that just deteriorate or degrade. If you think about a mouse, the size of a dime, they can pop right through, and a rat's about a quarter. So
Really?
exclusion work is important. You want to do an inspection, and then you want to make sure everything's sealed up. When garage doors, they settle at each corner, there's a gap there, and that's, they can either chew through there or just go right in and out.
And Austin Packett of Packett Landscaping Company reminded us that you don't have to wait for spring to start treating or dreaming of what you want to do. Best projects to stay away from. He shared planning tips, designs for your outdoor projects rolling early.
What type of services do you all offer?
Yeah, so what we specialize in is softscape design and installation, which is anything plant related.
Okay.
So whether it's just the front of a house, some curb appeal, or whether it's a backyard project where someone's looking for some privacy hedges or something like that, that is our main focus.
Austin was so generous to give us 2 gift certificates to give away.
And comment spring on here, and we will do a drawing for everybody that comments spring, and we will get back to you. And you need to be within a 60-mile radius
Of Bridgeport. Right.
Yes.
That just brings us to the end of today's recap, and what a season it has been. We have learned from so many incredible professionals, each bringing their own expertise to help our homeowners, buyers, and sellers feel more confident and more informed.
And the best part is we're nowhere near done.
Nope.
We're covered a lot of ground already, but there's so much more ahead. More pros, more insights, and plenty more real-world conversations to keep us prepared for whatever your home journey throws your way.
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all our amazing guests, and thank you to Santana, our director of this show, The Real Talk with the Pros. If you missed any of the episodes, now is a great time to catch up.
And we'll be back soon with more honest conversations and helpful advice from the people who know the industry the best.
Right. Until next time, this is Real Talk with the Pros, where we keep it real, keep it helpful, and keep it local.